Morning. Today's tool tip is about using Navisworks batch utility. Currently using Navis 2013. This tool is also available in 2012 and in previous versions. Find up here on your home screen this batch utility. This allows you to build automated scripts basically for functioning with Navis. It's a very useful tool, but it doesn't have a lot of documentation out there, so it kind of is what it is. You got to kind of experiment and figure out what you can do with it for yourself. Today I'm going to use it to give an overview of how to do a scheduled task, so that way you don't have to sit at your computer and wait for it to process some of the model data, why it takes many hours on some occasions. Project I'm working on, I'm going to be importing some Revit models. Obviously you get a number of file types available for this utility. You can do an add spec. This is really handy if you want it to basically scavenge a directory and all your file names are a mismatched mess, and basically gives you the options by extension. I don't need to do that on this. I know where all my files are and what I'm trying to compile. So I'm just going to select and add to list. Options, you can have a single file. You can have it do multiple files, so it would spit each one of these out as an NWC or NWD. Options just tag down here. Then you've got, I'm doing a single file, so my output is to my downloads directory, CLSB XXX. View the file on output, opens Navis when it's done. I'm not going to be here though, so I don't really care for that. You can also have it overwrite the output names. This would have been really handy for a job like Intel, where we're constantly updating a single NWD file. Could easily set it up to be able to run this for you. The log events is supposed to give you a log if there's any errors or exceptions. It doesn't work very well. 9 times out of 10 this thing will just crash when there's a problem, but so far so good. So at this point, if I just hit run command, it would start importing all of these Revit files, and I'd be sitting here for a good 4 hours. I don't want to do that. I want to schedule it to happen when I'm not here. So down here you've got a schedule command button. This is going to create a text file that will get imported to the Windows scheduler. This is all done automatic, so you just got to give it a name, hit save. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I have an existing one, whatever. So then it's going to ask you for some credentials. This task name is for the scheduler. It doesn't really matter. You can put in whatever you want it as a memory retention. It will need your login password, and this is your Windows login here. After you enter that, this goes into a Windows utility. So this is a standard scheduled task as far as Windows is concerned. Doesn't really do much with Navis. Once again, keeps asking for your login password, and that is your network login. I think it comes up one more time. So options are, you can make it run only if you're logged into the machine. Essentially you'd have to leave your machine on and sitting at your desktop overnight for that to happen. Otherwise this will turn on your computer and awaken it as long as you have not hit shut down. If it's asleep, there's no problems. So I want to schedule a new task. By default it wants to run this every day at 9 o'clock, but I only want it to run one time on this particular job, and instead of running at 9 a.m. I want it to run at 9 p.m. So a little bit more options. You can come in here and schedule it very specific of when you want it to actually run this. This would be very useful if you're in a routine. You download every day or every week to the same place. Your output file goes to the same location. You can set this up to really be a no-brainer at some point. I'm not going to be doing this, however, right now. So Other than that, you get some other different options here. Set it up to where if the CPU is actually being used, it won't run, and how many times it retries, and if the computer's on batteries or if it's plugged in. There's all sorts of options for this. Then another one you might want to be wary of is this wake the computer to run this task. So once you hit OK, it's gone. It's all said and done. It's now part of the Windows scheduling. One thing to note, if you have your license checked out, you need to make sure to disable this and check your license back in. Any floating dialog boxes will stop the process, so it doesn't have the ability to click close for you. To access any of these that you've made, say you need to come in and edit, delete, modify, go to your control panel. It's under Administrative Tools, Task Scheduler. And this is kind of the front view of the dialog boxes we were just looking at. So once the task scheduler is open, go ahead and click on this task scheduler library. This will show you all of the tasks that you have scheduled to run. These are the ones we obviously made, so if you need to come in here and get rid of them, you messed up, you put in AM instead of PM, you just right click delete. Life is good. Any questions? Feel free to give me a holler.